welcome to an episode of the Farr Show where I am Damien Farr, and tonight we're talking about Creed 3. And I know what you're thinking, Damien, come on. Creed 3, really? Well, honestly, this is only the second new movie I've seen this year. Well, second of 2023. I've watched all the best pictures at this point, and we'll talk about those next week when the Oscars happen. So, we're not filming back-to-back for once in a long time. But that's okay. So, some basic info on this movie. It's directed by Michael B. Jordan, his directorial debut. Screenplay by Keegan Coogler and Zach Bailiff? No idea. With a story by Ryan Coogler, Keaton Coogler, and Zach Bailiff. So, basically, you got the core coming back, in a way. I mean, Ryan Coogler's back to help write this, so that's cool to see that he is back when he did Creed 1, which I loved Creed 1. Well, just Creed, really. We'll get to the ranking of these movies in a bit, though. Let's start talking about the cast, where you got Michael B. Jordan as Adonis, Donnie Creed. His original last name was Johnson, but he took on the Creed last name, which is cool. Michael B. Jordan, once again, is this movie. He is great in this movie. He was great in Creed 1, great in Creed 2. He, I think, takes it to another level in this one. Don't get me wrong, the other ones, his performances were amazing, but I think the fact that he's directing, he knew what he needed to do to excel his performance, I think, which is good to see. Tessa Thompson as Bianca Taylor. She's kind of put in the back, I would say, more than anything. She was a main focal point in the first two, but I think she's kind of put to the back a little bit because this next character, Jonathan Majors as Dame Anderson, I think it was important that they flesh out this story and see what happened to these two, which they did. So, I think, honestly, Jonathan Majors steals the show. Again, weird. 2 Jonathan Majors movies in a row where he steals the show. It's like he's meant to do acting or something, or be a bad guy. Because I wouldn't say Damien was a bad guy in this case. He was kind of a misunderstood guy. He did some bad things, yes. But good people do bad things. We're not all movie characters, though. Then you got Wood Harris as Tony Little Duke Evers, coming back as the trainer. You got Floyd Murthru as Victor Drago, and Phyllis Rashad as Mary Ann Creed coming back. So, cast-wise, you got most of them returning. The big notice of missing is Sylvester Stallone, and we'll get to the plot and where I think he could have fit in one time. So, this is all the plot off the top of my head. Pretty much what happens is Donnie has retired, but a friend from his past, that being Damien, has returned. So, Damien wants a shot at the title, and he does some sticky things, let's just say. You could tell right away that he has somebody break Victor Drago's hand, so then he can't fight the champ who Donnie is actually representing as his manager and type of a thing. So, sure. Well then, Damien gets that fight, and he fights and wins against the champion by some dirty means. I want to make that known. A little bit dirty. So, then Michael B. Jordan, or Donnie, has to come out of retirement and fight him. He doesn't have to, but Damien's kind of talking shit all the time, so he kind of needs to at this point to defend his honor. So, he does. Well, he's getting, I wouldn't say ready to train or anything. His mother dies in this movie. And I think this is the only part where Rocky would have fit in, or Sylvester Stallone, is at the funeral. That would have made sense, but the rest of the movie, I don't think he needed to be there. I think that's one thing I want to make known. As big of a Rocky fan is, I understand the passing of the torch, or in this case, passing of the gloves. So, makes sense that he shouldn't be there. But, I think, honestly, he could have fit in that one spot. It would have made sense that he would have showed up. He hasn't been really around as much, which makes sense. I think it would have just made sense, though, for him to show up. But that's okay. He didn't show up, but he didn't need to be there. So, then we get to the fight where actually, Victor Drago helps Donnie back to be a fighter again, which is really weird to see. But I think they're friends at this point. I think they're friendly, it seems. I mean, there's still some, I would say, bad blood, but he helps Donnie get his mojo back, which is kind of like how Apollo Creed helped Rocky get his mojo back in the third situation, a former villain, or a former person he fought against, which is kind of cool to see. It's another full circle moment, but, you know, repeating some things of the past is okay. And I was okay with this. So, Donnie fights Dame, and he wins. So, the future of the Creed movies. I gotta point this out right away. I think they need to make a fourth one. And I think if they make a fourth one, I think Damien and Donnie should both be in the gym together. They should be working to train the next fighter. That, or make it where Donnie is still a fighter and Damien helps train him. Because Damien knows that at this point, hey, it was a one fishy win, that he's not going to win another title. So, personally, I think that's the way they should go. Is they should make it where they run the gym together with Tony. I think that would just make sense that all three of them work together. I think that'd be kind of cool to see them work on the next generation. Now, should they make it the one guy that Damien beat? I don't know if that would make sense anymore. He lost the title. I get that he was undefeated and he gets another shot, but come on. You're not going to fight your mentor like Rocky 5, right? So, let's start ranking these movies because we got to rank them. So, these are off the cuff here. You know, don't know where I'm putting anything. Rocky 5, though, is obviously the lowest. There's no doubt there. It's an F. It's the worst Rocky movie by far. I don't think it's really rewatchable by today's standards. I think it's the one you should skip in any Rocky marathon. So, Rocky 5, where do we go next? Rocky Balboa. And I know a lot of people like Rocky Balboa. I think it's more older crowd that like Rocky Balboa because they're old. They see the man struggling with the same things they're struggling. I don't have that connection to it. So, I think it's an FA. Now, this is where it gets hard. I think my original ranking, I had Creed 2 pretty high, but I think Creed 2 is going to go right here, and I think it's going to be an FA as well. I think it's good. There's a lot of family drama in there, but I think it could have been better. So, Creed 2 there. We'll just have them ranking right here, because let's be honest. Actually, we'll just put the text right here after I'm done ranking all of them. Then we got, after Creed 2, we got Rocky 3. And I know what you're thinking, Damien, Rocky 3 this low? Yes, Rocky 3 is this low. So, Rocky 3 right there. Then we got, I'd still give it an FAR, though. Then we got Rocky 4. FARR. No, FAR. And I think Rocky 4, you can watch either version. They're pretty much the same, honestly. Either the Rocky versus Drago Rocky 4 or Rocky 4 original. Either way, you're still getting a great movie. I think then I'd go Creed 3, personally, as an FAR as well. Then we get into the upper echelon, and when I say that, I don't mean Rocky 2 yet. Rocky 2 is an FAR. I think it's the perfect sequel to the first Rocky. It matched the tone. Still a great movie. Do I think it's as good as the first? Hell no. The first Rocky is my favorite film of all time. Spoiler alert. So, where am I going to put it? Then I think we go Creed. Then we go Rocky the first one. Both are FAR, but Rocky gets an FARRY. That's the only one that's my favorite film of all time. I gotta keep repping it. So, what did you think of Creed 3? Tell me in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon, and have a far off night.